Have you ever found yourself at a crossroads where a single decision could change everything? We all experience moments of temptation, those times when we're tempted to take a shortcut or make a decision that doesn't quite align with our values. In these fleeting moments, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Today's story takes us back to an ancient kingdom, where a young man's life was turned upside down by one split-second choice. This story isn't just about him, it's about each of us. It's about how our thoughts, even the briefest ones, can shape our lives in powerful ways. So stay with us, because by the end, you'll discover a lesson that could help you master your own mind, make better decisions, and live a life true to who you really are. The story of the poor young man and the old man. Once upon a time in a kingdom, a young man faced the challenges of life. Every day he went out looking for work early in the morning. His life was a constant cycle of hardship, working tirelessly, earning meager wages, and barely making ends meet. One particular day, after a fruitless search for employment, he walked home feeling dejected. As he trudged along, lost in his thoughts, a voice called out from behind him, "Can I find any labor here?" Turning around, he saw an old man, stooped with age, carrying 3 large bags. The young man approached, and they exchanged a few words. The elder explained that he needed assistance with one of his bags and promised 3 gold coins in return. Despite his fatigue, the young man's spirits lifted at the mention of a fair reward and a new opportunity for work. As he hoisted the heavy bag onto his shoulder, the weight made him pause. "This is quite heavy," he said, glancing at the old man. The elder, with a mysterious smile, replied, "Yes, because it's filled with bronze coins." The young man agreed to help, unaware that this encounter would soon test not only his strength but also his integrity. Their journey continued, with the old man keeping a watchful eye on his new helper. The young man couldn't help but notice. "He probably thinks I might run away with this bag," he mused. "But I'm no thief. I'm just here to earn my pay honestly." As they approached a river, the old man stopped and requested additional help, explaining he couldn't carry 2 bags across the water alone. He promised 3 more gold coins if the young man would carry an additional load. The young man agreed, hoisting the second bag. But the old man hesitated, repeating his concerns about trust. This time, he claimed the bag held silver coins. The young man was slightly offended. "Do I look like a thief?" he protested. Nevertheless, he reassured the elder of his good intentions and crossed the river with both bags. His determination and honesty remained unshaken, and he continued to help, even as a tempting idea started to form in his mind. Finally, they reached a hill. The old man stopped again, saying he couldn't manage the climb with the remaining bag, this time suggesting it contained gold coins. Once again, he expressed his doubts about the young man's intentions, voicing fears that he might run off with the valuable contents. The young man felt a surge of irritation but insisted that he was honorable and trustworthy. However, a small part of his mind had begun to entertain the thought, "What if I just took these bags and ran?" The thought grew stronger as they climbed. After all, who would blame him? The old man was wealthy, with far more than he could ever need. The young man, on the other hand, was poor and struggling. If he ran off with these bags, he reasoned, he'd be set for life. No more daily grind, no more worrying about his next meal. He'd finally live a life of comfort, maybe even marry and build a family. He would have everything he ever dreamed of, all thanks to one daring decision. As the young man wrestled with his thoughts, the temptation became overwhelming. "This is my chance," he thought. Unable to resist, he took off, bags in tow, running breathlessly toward home. His mind raced with visions of the life he'd lead, the luxury, the admiration, the freedom. By the time he reached his house, he was exhausted but exhilarated. He opened the bags, eager to see his newfound wealth. But to his shock, the bags contained nothing but small stones. Bewildered, he searched through them until he found a slip of paper with a message. It read, "I am the king of this kingdom. I am old and without an heir, so I have been seeking an honest person to adopt as my child and successor. If you had remained true to your values, you could have been that person." In that instant, the young man felt his heart sink. He had spent his entire life holding on to honesty and integrity, only to let one momentary lapse in judgment cost him everything. In his pursuit of fleeting wealth, he had betrayed his own principles and lost an unimaginable opportunity. Regret filled his heart as he realized the price of his actions. Lessons in thought control and self-mastery. This story offers a profound lesson on the power of thoughts. Buddha taught that our thoughts are the seeds of our destiny. As he explained, every action starts as a thought, which becomes words, then actions, then habits, and ultimately shapes our fate. This young man's fleeting thoughts of greed transformed into a life-altering decision. The story illustrates the dangers of unguarded thoughts. Just as the young man's mind wavered in a moment of weakness, we too are often tempted by our desires and impulses. Whether it's the urge to make a hasty decision, the allure of short-term gains, or a desire for material wealth, it's essential to recognize these impulses without letting them dictate our actions. Examples in modern life. 1. Workplace ethics. Imagine a young employee named Alex, working at a large financial company. One day, his boss asks him to adjust some figures to make the financial report look better, which would greatly benefit the company in the short term. Alex knows that doing so would secure him a promotion and a hefty bonus. For a moment, Alex thinks about what he could do with the extra money: buy a new house for his parents, enjoy a more comfortable life. But then, he remembers why he entered the finance industry: to bring transparency and integrity to his work. Alex decides to refuse his boss's request, risking his career to stay true to his principles. As a result, he not only protects his personal reputation but also builds trust with clients and colleagues, creating a foundation for a more sustainable career. 2. Staying calm in family matters. Picture Sarah, a mother who always strives to raise her children with love and patience. One day, she comes home from work to find that her son has broken an antique vase that she cherished dearly, a gift from her late grandmother. For a moment, Sarah feels a surge of anger and wants to scold her son for his carelessness. But then, she remembers that the vase is just an object, while her son's feelings are far more important. She pauses, takes a deep breath, and gently talks to her son, explaining the significance of the vase and teaching him a lesson about being careful. By controlling her fleeting anger, Sarah not only preserves their loving relationship but also creates a meaningful teaching moment for her child. 3. Making financial decisions wisely. James, a salaried worker, is under financial pressure with a bank loan to pay off. One day, he receives an invitation from an acquaintance to invest in a high-return but risky project. For a moment, he considers this investment as a way to clear his debts and change his life. However, James feels something is off about the offer. It seems too good to be. These stories remind us of the power of controlling fleeting thoughts and emotions. In every crucial moment, we can choose integrity and patience over acting on impulse or anger. Fleeting thoughts can lead us to make mistakes, but when kept in check, they guide us toward a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Final reflection: embracing integrity amid temptation. In this story, the young man's brief moment of weakness led to a tremendous loss, a single decision that forever altered his path. Yet, his story serves as a powerful reminder for each of us. Life constantly presents us with choices that test our principles and challenge our strength. Each time, we're given an opportunity to stay true to who we are or let fleeting desires lead us astray. By keeping a close watch on our thoughts and staying anchored to our core values, we can avoid the actions we might later regret. As Buddha taught, our greatest challenge doesn't come from external forces but from the unguarded thoughts within us. Staying vigilant allows us to protect our integrity, filling our lives with peace, trust, and respect. We may not control every thought that surfaces, but we hold the power to choose which thoughts to nurture and which to dismiss. In doing so, we cultivate a life of honesty, rooted in inner strength, one where we remain true to ourselves no matter the temptations we face. Conclusion: planting seeds of a purposeful life. The young man's story vividly shows that every choice begins with a thought. While some thoughts pass without consequence, others take root, shaping the course of our lives. By tending to these seeds with care, we create a future aligned with our highest values. Ultimately, our thoughts become the guiding force behind the lives we build. Choose wisely, and remember, a moment of weakness is never worth a lifetime of regret. Embrace each thought as a chance to build a life of purpose, peace, and integrity. If you find this story meaningful and want to receive more profound life lessons, be sure to hit the subscribe button now. Together, we will explore many more inspiring stories that help you grow and live a fuller life. Click subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos.